In this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to paint velvet and keep it soft, but you've got to follow the steps. So this is pretty thorough. I got this piece given to me yesterday. Isn't she pretty?
At the end of the video, you'll get a quick studio apartment tour of these pieces staged.
Only the second time I did it is this, and it feels really good. I'm going to tell you the mistake I made so that you don't do it on sealing it. The pink chair, I never sealed it. It never rubs off on my clothes. It never come off. And this one is a tweed fabric, and we just straight painted it, just no dilution. I didn't care that this was crunchy. It was in super stained condition, so I just did a full coverage on it, and we did a stamp on it.
Watch the full video for all the steps. Water and scrub brush and several layers are the key to keeping it soft and not crunchy.
So if any of you have painted fabric and have some tips as I'm going along, please put it in the comments. Tips and tricks, do it. I feel like I can do this because I've watched so many lives. So I have walked customers through doing it, having never done it myself. Eek! This is a velvety feel, and I want to keep it soft. You can put your paint on straight without diluting it with water, and it'll be crispy. If you're never going to set on the piece, if you don't care about that, go for it. But you have to, absolutely have to dilute it to keep and do some steps to keep it soft. Okay, so for my first time ever, the more steps and layers you can do and let dry in between each layer, the more it will dye it, because we are dyeing the fabric if you want to keep this soft. Example, these are my work shoes. These were tan, and I painted them skeleton key. For 1 part paint to 8 parts water is how much you can dilute it without losing the color saturation. Your base coat makes a difference. Black, I could dye it to, it would probably look like cherry picked with the kissing booth. So you can't go from dark to lighter unless somebody knows a trick that I don't know. And I mean, if you painted it solid and left it crunchy, you could do that. But if you're wanting to do fabric and keep it soft, you can only go darker or the same and change the tone. So this, I was gonna kick it up a little bit with some, what is our red? Marquee red, just a drop of marquee red in the kissing booth. But then I remembered this is purple base, and it's already got a lot of that pigment in it. So I'm just doing straight kissing booth. I did not measure, but look how watery it is. It's just drippy water. I love a mister bottle because it doesn't dump a lot of water in one spot. It's just a fine mist. Go ahead, you don't have to, but because it's like hair and it's porosity, you want to kind of even out your porosity a little bit by just giving it a coat of water. I got my French tip. I sell these, all these products I sell. I did this because these little tufted spots will get in there good. And I'm using the well-rounded, it's a number 12, it's our biggest one. But then I also threw this out here just in case. I didn't know what I'd want to work with. I haven't done this before. I sprayed it 1 coat, just, it's not real wet, which is good. Super diluted kissing booth. Let's just get crazy here. Oh my gosh, this is already doing so good. Now you wouldn't want to just dump this whole thing on there because it's going to suck into the padding, and you don't really, you know, it's going to happen and you want it to dry, but you don't want it to mildew. So you wouldn't want to just dump a lot on there at once. Husband's like, that looks cool. How much are you going to sell it for? And I'm like, oh, I'm keeping this one. And he's like, honey, you have to, because I'm always saying, I'm keeping this one. I'm keeping this one.
Back to walking customers through when I've never even done this technique. I felt like a hypocrite, but I've been virtually trained. So evidently it worked because this is my first time and it turned out fabulous.
I'm gonna take that. Oh yeah, this works perfect. I love the French tip. We have a small, Frenchie I think is what it's called. We have a smaller one than this and this large one. And they're so good for the, you know, getting in there in the grooves of a detailed mirror or piece, or just like what I'm doing here. It's working so good. Look at that, oh my gosh, it's gonna look so good. This is only 1 coat and I'm loving it. Okay, now I'm gonna show you another step you have to do to keep it soft, but I'm gonna get my base coat on first of this top. And tufted things, you kind of want to, can you see how that purple is just showing? So you'll want to spread that out, like when somebody's sitting on it, it's going to make it, you know, show up. So act like you got some weight on here so that you can make sure and get down in the grooves.
I ended up being fine with just 2 layers. Now watch, this is very, very important to keep this soft and not crunchy.
7 layers. Next step, you can use this, or like you can use your upholstery attachment on your vacuum cleaners. It's a little bit more soft. This is a little stiffer than I wanted. I'm not worried about it damaging. So you can either work this down in. This helps work your paint into the fabric so that it will dye it. But it also is a key to keeping it soft and not crunchy. Spray as I go, and it helps move that paint into all the kinks and crevices. Oh my gosh, guys, this is working so good. I picked a really good color for this base color because that will affect it. It's the same as furniture and walls too. When you paint, your primer or your base coat you're working with will affect your end color. Okay, so that's basically, and when you do one of these sanding sponges, do a fine grit too. I didn't mix up a lot on purpose because I want to show you my how I'm mixing it. Kissing booth. Okay, so let's set our brushes aside. And I'm going to do a dollop. Really, it just needs to be runny. Okay, I'm not going to waste a drop, so I wipe it off with that. Okay, so let me show you. Not much in there, okay? 8 parts water to 1 part paint. Let's just see how far that goes. Okay, and I'm just using my brush to mix it.
Important prep steps to know coming up.
The only thing I did to prep this piece was take a vacuum cleaner and vacuum it. Now, if you do have a spot of tea, for say, spilled, or there was a little bit of something here, I could have used fabric cleaner and scrubbed it, because that can affect your final look, just like you're seeing a stain. Well, this isn't gonna probably, unless I'm going to black, if I'm using a black or a really dark color, I could have got away without scrubbing that stain. So if there's some visible stains, go ahead and scrub them, let the chemical dry, maybe even, you know, I don't think the chemical matter to rinse it off. Just go ahead and clean it the best you can, or if it's just too far gone, know that when you pick your color, maybe I should pick a darker color because these stains aren't gonna come out. So you gotta kind of know that. I've seen them do ombre and the blended look on fabric, and as I was doing just my little front piece, oh, it would be so easy to do. So, oop, I'm spraying that everywhere, that's fine. Okay, so we're gonna go on and continue up here. Here we go. We're just gonna even out the porosity so it doesn't grab too strong in one spot by just giving it a little bit of water. I'm just kind of filling it. This is a mister, so I got the even porosity with a little thing of water. If you forget, that's fine. But I'm on a shower curtain. Save your old shower curtains. This is my daughter's old shower curtain, and it works amazing. This goes to the furniture that I used to call when I was little rich girl furniture. They all had that French provincial white and gold furniture, and now I find it a lot on Facebook or, you know, and they're the funnest to do because all these details, you can do all the fun colors and waxes and treatments to it. So, okay, you can see how the coverage is. It's a really beautiful glaze. This alone would be beautiful.
This is a messy process, so get a waterproof drop cloth and it will speckle onto your clothes as well. 8 ounces would do at least 3 of the size chairs, maybe 4.
Look at that. Look how good that covers. It's a really nice, deep kissing booth pink. I mean, I really thought I was going to have to kick up with some red to get it the vibrant pink that I wanted, but because this base color was purple, I didn't. Okay, so now you see how it's not going in those edges very good? This is my first time to do this. So this is where you put your weight on there. See that purple showing through? And look how beautiful this thing. This, if you're gonna get started with a set of brushes, this is what I would suggest. Now, this is called the Big D, but there's a sampler size that fits in our sample size jar. Pull this back and get on all the grooves, like I said. This is looking so cute. I'm so happy. I felt so bad about walking customers or answering questions about painting fabric, and I'd never done that. I feel like I've been virtually trained. I didn't try to lie to them stuff. I forgot to work down their sanding block. Or this, work it down. It gets it into the fabric and keeps it soft. I'm gonna repeat it a lot. Process, it's the same thing. I am evening the porosity of this so it doesn't suck up a whole bunch of color here and not here. A little bit wet. You don't have to if you forget the step. You can work it with the brush or the sanding block and you know, help that out. But look at that.
Don't be scared to try this. Grab you something at the thrift store, get a pillow, get a piece of fabric, do something, but don't be afraid to do this technique.
One layer. If this was black, if I was going to black on this, I honestly could probably get away with one layer. So I think Debbie said she worked for, I can't remember how long on her green couch. It took her a long time, and she didn't even seal it. She just waited for 6 months. After 6 months, it'll cure and dry itself. And she's never had it rub off on her white clothes or her skin. So you do need to seal it, but if you're patient and it's not,
I never sealed this chair, and it was totally fine always. Now, before it cured, if I would have sat down with a wet shorts on or something, maybe that would have been bad. So on my second go around on the green chairs, I screwed up a little bit on that, and I'm going to be honest and tell you what I did. When I mixed my sealer, I mixed half Big Top, which is a water-based top coat, and half water, and it was too stiff. It still worked out fine, but really 1 part water-based top coat and 3 parts water would have been better. I've heard you can use wax to seal this velvet. I haven't done that. If you've tried it, let me know how it worked out. But wax is, you know, it's wax. It's kind of oily. So I'm not going to do it. I am on team let it cure 30 to 60 days and you're good to go.
Work it in, up and down, or your scrub brush, whichever you want to use. Woo! But know that it'll flick on you, just like I'm flicking it on me. Okay, and then I would take my paint. Oh, there's no seams to undo here. Here's one right here. Can you see that? Am I still in the film? So I could take my little French tip.
Faye in the back will be in the end stage if you watch all the way through. And it was my first paint blend. Guys, this paint is amazing. It does anything. It is more pigmented than any other paint out there. And the price point is amazing. So stay tuned to see more on that.
Okay, guys, look at that. So that's what the, you know, and it dries super fast. So that'll be a little bit of my base coat because I am doing this kissing booth. Lavender base and 1 coat. And I think I can get away with 2. But this chair looks so cute in my office with this. And show them that they can paint this so simple. You just got to take a little bit of patience. So, which I do not have, so I'm starting small with the chairs. But anyway, it's soft. This is crunchy, but I haven't fluffed. So let's see here. Yeah. So guys, it's good. Vacuum your piece, clean the stains off if you need. Dilute your paint color with water to where it's real drippy. Put your first coat on. Take either a sanding block, fine grit, or a scrub brush, and then work it in. kind of crossways and both ways. Let it dry, and then you come back and you keep repeating the steps until you get it the depth you want. 2 coats because of the base color was showing through with. So I think 2 is going to be good enough for me.
I used 90% instead of 70% alcohol, and it got that red Kool-Aid lipstick, whatever that stuff was. There was a lot of fun life on this shirt, let me tell you. And just know, if you don't get that off, it will show through when you're dyeing. If you painted it straight and left it crunchy, then you can get away with whatever. But go ahead and prep work. If you made it this far, you need a prize. Thank you for watching. I thought I'd give you a quick tour of my little studio apartment. We are empty nesters now. And look at all these crazy skipped stencil technique is what I call this. So look at my cartoon Facebook furniture I found. And here is the piece finished. I love this thing. I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. And I put a little fireplace mantle up there to frame our TV. I propped it up on some old pharmacy files, used some decoupage paper inside because just, you know, do the little extra step to give you a pop of fun every time you open up those doors. Here's the little corner that is our office, and my husband plays a guitar, stirs my little heart up. And here we go. Just, it is maximalist in here. Do you like that style, or are you a minimalist? I'd love to hear what you think, and I release a video every week. Please subscribe, like, comment, do all the things, and I do interact, so I'd love to see your comments.